For the rest of class, we are going to be doing conversions like this. Oh, we can't see that one very good. We're going to be doing conversions like this, so please write down that example. If you wrote it down the other day, it'll be very easy to write it down again. Make sure we did it correctly. So to do this, the fast way is to do the king right at the top of your paper. And I have a little revision. Notice that this is this little d. That reminds me that it's deci and that's deca. Okay, so we want to go from millimeters to kilometers. So millimeters are down here, kilometers up there. If we were converting this number to there, we'd have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So then it would be on the 7, so on 7200, we move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the zeros in here. There's the decimal right there, so it'd be 0.0072. You can do it this way, but you don't have to write it down. So don't write down this way, but I just want to show you this is another way of doing it. And aren't you glad that we have this way? If you are glad about it, put a smiley face by your stairs. Oh, so that would be millimeters to kilometers, so that would be that many kilometers. So that would be our final answer. So that was this part for 2.5. Here's the rest for 2.6, which is also very important. I would like you to write down, if you have not already, write down all this stuff. Substitute. If you would be so kind as to pause the video, should the class need time to write this down. Everybody must write this down. So I'm going to put you must write this. I hope that helps you understand that you should write it. So pause the video, and now that you have it, we already have this stuff down. Okay, so we are going to practice this. We need to write these in liters. So our whole thing with what we did before was a hectogram, or was lengths and distances. So this is, let me explain this part. One of the units for volume is a liter. Let me, and it is the same thing as 1 cubic deciliter or 1,000 cubic centimeters. So let me show you what that means. So I'm going to draw it up here. So if we had this cube and it was 1 decimeter wide, 1 decimeter deep, and 1 decimeter tall. And if we multiplied those to find the volume, because volume is the length, the width, and the height, so that wide, that deep, and that high, then this is equal to 1 liter. So that is what it is. So, but you do the same thing with the stairs. King Henry does usually drink chocolate milk. The other one's so morbid. So we're supposed to write these just in liters. So I'm going to write here that our unit is liters to remind myself. So now practice using those stairs to go from, so there are 4 right here. Here's one of them you're supposed to do. There's another one, and there's another one. Again, weird formatting. So sorry. Try those out on your own. I'm going to give about 30 more seconds because I don't think it's going to take more than that time. All right, so deciliters to liters, we moved 1 over, so move the decimal over 1, so this would be 2 liters. I write these in capital L's so that they don't look anything different than my ones. Otherwise, that answer would look like a 21. Then move it over once here, so 0.6 liters. 33, move it over twice, so 0.33 liters. And then milliliters, 1, 2, 3 times, so 1, 2, 3, so 1.5 liters. And if you haven't done number 13, please do that now. In fact, I'm going to erase these things right here so we're getting all ready for it. So our goal is to get to the centiliters. We had 1 liter, or it looks like 71, see that? And we need to go to centiliters, so we need to move it to the left, to the right 2 places. So right 2 places, so that's 70 centiliters. 3.5 deciliters, so that moves over once. So that's 35 centiliters. And then going the other way with the milliliters, we move it this way, so it'd be 0.9 centiliters. Awesome. If you haven't written that down, write it down right now. Please make sure you're being quiet. And now we're coming into the application stuff. Number 14 is not as big of an application, but it's good to do. So if we wrote 800 milliliters in centiliters and deciliters and liters, I'm going to have to put this on my paper again. So we want to write 800 milliliters in centiliters, so the decimal moves over once for that one. So 80 centiliters. Oh, you keep on doing it, the rest of it by yourself. Substitute, if you would pause the video, that would be awesome. Assuming that you've done it, pause the video, whatever. We need to go to, so 800 milliliters into centiliters, we got that. We need it into deciliters, so that'd be 8 deciliters. Oops, that was supposed to be liters. And 0.8 liters. Cool. Then in a soda factory, 330 liters of cherry soda is packaged into bottles with 3 deciliters in each bottle. How many bottles do they need? So ideas on how to do this? Well, I can see for sure that there would need to be some dividing, but this is really tempting to just do 330 divided by 3. But you can see there's this deciliter there and a liter there. Notice the weird spelling. But that's an okay spelling. That's just a different spelling. So first let's change the deciliters into liters, or the liters into deciliters. It doesn't matter because all we want to know is the bottles. So I am going to change the deciliters. I'm going to change the liters into deciliters. So that means the decimal would go from liters to deciliters. I would have 3,300 divided by 3. And these are all in deciliters. Deciliters, deciliters. So 3 goes into 33 11 times, and then there's the 2 zeros, so we need that many bottles. Good. And then a sprinter is breathing in 3 liters of air with each breath. A sprinter breathes once every 2 seconds. How many liters of air does he use if the sprint takes 14 seconds? Pause the video if you haven't done this yet. Pause the video anyway, making sure people get a chance to think about it. So we have this much air for every breath, and we have 1 breath every 2 seconds, and we want to know 14 seconds. So first, let's figure out the number of breaths. So if it's once every 2 seconds, and we had 14 seconds, we would just divide by 2 and get 7 breaths. And he does 3 liters of air with each of those. So I'm going to do 7 times by 3, and we get 21 liters of air. Nice, huh? Okay, make sure you have that down. Very important to have these things down. This is my way of trying to help you with the A level and C level problems on the test. I did pull a lot of the questions from the test on the previous video on the warm-up that I did with you, this one. If you would like to watch this again, if you realize, oh snap, you have a test coming up and it looks like that, and you'd like to watch this video again, it's going to be available on YouTube. If you were to go onto YouTube and then do a search for me, I don't care if you subscribe or not, because that's not the purpose of it. But if you do a search for me, then you will be able to find the videos. That is where the substitute clicked on the link to be able to get these videos, and I sure hope they worked well. So please go on, and then I will also put this link into Schoolsoft, these links into Schoolsoft, so you'll have multiple places to get the videos. And yep, when you are done with this, there is an extra worksheet for you to just simply practice some good arithmetic that many of you need practice with. Calculators are not to be used, and there is a multiplication table available. I will put them up in the room. You probably see them already. And then please remember the challenge to be quiet. So this might be the most challenging part of all, is can you be quiet when there is not a direct lesson? So the substitute has directions to mark down students that have to be reminded to be quiet, and the class with the fewest number of reminders will win.